Hello, this is Bill Moreland with BankRegData. Today's post video is going to be a little off topic, but it's not off topic for us, and it's certainly not off topic for our clients who have been impacted by this. Today, what I wanted to talk about, I'll try to keep it brief, is AI and what that's done to businesses like us. The morph from search to AI is one that has not been handled well, I don't think. And I also think that the race and the land grab to get to AI, it's going to damage search. And I'm going to be using Google, but it's all of them. I mean, they're all doing this. Amazon Web Services, Bing, Microsoft, anybody who's trying to get into AI, including all the international ones, which are a whole nother bag of worms, as well as all the small startups here. What's happened is starting about August, September of last year was our server started to freeze up. And we're a small shop, right? I mean, we try to provide a good service, but we don't have big, massive resources. And we try to have value proposition for pricing subscriptions that accommodates that. But basically, we try to do our best. And we've had a very stable server for 15 years. But starting about 7, 8, 9 months ago, we started to freeze. And we couldn't figure out what it was. It would just get locked up. And what it was these companies morphing from search, where there was rules and robots.txt that you can have a crawl delay. You can tell them what to look at, what not to look at. One by one, all the big companies, tech companies, yay, they make our life so much better. One by one, they changed their rules. They wouldn't follow the standard rules anymore, especially Google with their crawl delay. And they gave you a bunch of nonsense about how it's in your best interest and we got great tech. But really what it was is they didn't want to be restricted anymore to what they could scrape for their AI training. So as they took over more and more of the activity on the internet, for us, it started to freeze us because they can't handle it. So what we had to do was we completely eliminated all access to BankRegData to the external world. We had free hits, we had free trials, and then we had client activity. The free hits allowed us to basically send emails to prospects and free trials and say, hey, look, here's an update on Webster Bank's non-performing loans, a couple of pictures, a couple of tables, and then a link or two. And then you could click on the link and it would bring you back to our free hits and you would be able to click it, you'd see it, you'd navigate around, and then it would say, hey, sign up for a free trial. So it was a great marketing tool for us, but it also was beneficial to I'll use Google as the generic, but Google could basically go in and search all this, and it made their search more dynamic. It made it richer, correct? We contributed to a symbiotic relationship that benefited us and benefited them. And when they played by the rules, when we could manage those rules, it was perfect. And for 15 years, that's how we operated our business. Then they didn't want to do that anymore. So they wanted to basically take all that information, suck it up into their system, and then represent it in a way that they get the benefit and we don't. So AI is great, but really it's intellectual property theft. So remember, when you're consuming artificial intelligence, if it's got content, it's probably stolen from somewhere. Some of it may be open source, but some of it, like ours, was, look, dude, we had a symbiotic relationship. You're now suborning that for your own profit to our detriment. So anyway, whining and complaining, we shut down all of our free trial, our free hit access. You have to now. And now we can't even email either, because when we email and it has a link, guess what? Their terms and conditions, if you're a web host or your email hosting company, is probably using that to scrape and go get AI. Oh, they'll tell you we're checking links for your safety and security. Really? Is that why you got to do it 1,000 times in 5 minutes? You got to check it 1,000 times? No, they're using it to basically get artificial intelligence links to go back and scrape data and bring it back in. And they're using your emails and my emails, but we don't host through any of these companies anymore, a long time ago. But they're using your email information as public data to go back and reverse engineer. So that's fine. We all get what the stick is. But realistically, what it's done is it's stealing information. It really is. So we've had to pull everything in and shut it down. And that's hurt our free trials. Luckily, we've not had sales dips yet, but I imagine we will because it's a pipeline. But we basically left out the article section. And then that got hit 1,800 times in 10 minutes by Google. It's like, seriously, you're hitting the same article 1,800 times in 10 minutes. So all the whining aside, yesterday I basically rolled out, I'm trying to find a compromise, right? So we rolled out a sample data section to our website, and you come in, you can see it's data, but it's not live. It's static. It's not basically hitting any databases, which is what really hurts us when they do it 1,800 times in 5 minutes. We can handle it, but when 5 of them are doing the exact same thing and we're getting tens of thousands or 100,000s of hits in 10 minutes, it will lock us up if it's too aggressive. So basically, it's all static. You can come in, you can see essentially metrics, color-coded, our Sentry event engine, which is proprietary to identify, substantial quarterly differences, our threshold alert system that identifies what's happening. Yes, Flagstar is in a lot of trouble. Webster Bank loan review, nice and static. So just essentially a couple of static pages allows people to see content, not as much as I'd like to give access to, but something. And then a sample metrics page, which we're basically trying to leverage the AI, which is here's 200 top banks, and here's a bunch of metrics going across the top: capitalization, mark-to-market losses, asset quality, concentration, et cetera, et cetera. So the idea behind this is they'll come in, they'll index it, AI can have access to it all they want, but other people can now start to see what we offer. So how's that behaving? Not so well. So this is as of 6-7 minutes ago. And basically, this is our free hit for access. This is our free trial hits, and this is our client access hits. You can't get into this. So if you go in and you try to get into that, no one except for us, client zero, so to speak, can get access to this information. But what you're looking at is IP addresses. And anything with a 66249, that prefix is Google. It's Google. So you can see here, Google hit us basically just in this really tiny snippet where it finally kind of straw that broke the camel's back for me. Basically 40 seconds, 4 hits, one every 10 seconds. But notice it's just again and again and again and again and again. It's 4 pages. It's 1 page with 4 iterations is what the sample is, right? Webster, Flagstar, Wells, and then a summary. But notice how they just can't stop hitting it over and over. That's someone else. That's someone else. But notice how it's just 66249 again and again and again. So what you're looking at here is if we basically come in and look at the summary, 1 page with 4 iterations. Basically, if you add up all the 66249s, and let's just go take a quick look at this, there are essentially 18 different IP addresses they're using, and it's well into 1,400 page views. And that, by the way, is a European one, right? And we looked that up. That's OVH SAS. So AI, for supposed to be the savior of everything, they sure don't seem to be very smart about how they go about, oh, look, another one. But notice how they're changing the IP address, right? They just keep rotating it. But it's 1 page. We just indexed it. And let's come back 9 seconds later and index it again. So for all the publicity about how incredible and this is going to be, I question, one, seriously, this is the smartest you can come up with. This is how you go about indexing. You just keep pounding the same thing over and over and over every 3, 4, 5 seconds. You can't come up with a solution that says, hey, if we've seen that combination of a page and essentially whatever metrics it has, right? Report 1, report 2, report 3, report 4. That's it. There's a code that says 1, 2, 3, 4. If we've seen that code, that particular page and code 10 times in a row, maybe we don't keep doing it. Nope, that's not what they're doing. They'll just do it again and again and again and again ad nauseum. So one, I question how intelligent the people are behind this. 2, when you see the massive amounts of money being spent on private equity and venture funding and investment and bonds and everything going into this, understand a lot of that money is probably going to build big, massive data centers in Northeast Louisiana, as it was announced today for Meta, to capture this, to capture 99%, maybe 99.5% of what they'll hit for us today is duplicate. There's no incremental value to it. So how impressive can they possibly be in actually teaching these models when they don't seem to be very intelligent at all about basically capturing the data in an efficient, cost-effective type of way? Google, last comment, normally we get 10,000 hits a day for page views from our clients. And that number just keeps growing. I remember when I hit 1,000, I was so happy. And then we hit 2, then we hit 5, and now we're up to 8 to 10,000 a day. Hopefully we'll just keep growing, but we can handle that easy. Our system has no problem handling that. But Google got upset when we've turned them off for a while, because we did. We had to turn everything off for 2-3 months. This sample data is our first venture back into that. Google sent us multiple emails through their search console saying, we're not accessing your stuff anymore, and this is hurting you. Like, no, yes, but it's hurting you too, because it's going to make your search engine less valuable. But yeah, it's by design. We had to shut you down. But they were bragging about how they were hitting our web server 350, 370,000 times a day. They thought it was great. Now, I realize we have a lot of data. We have a lot of permutations of banks and metrics, but the data doesn't change. The data is the same for the most part, day in, day out for 6-7 weeks until we get the next batch, and then we update the new data, and then there's amendments. But to sit there and hit the same stuff over and over and over again, and then brag about how great you are at indexing and how it's going to hurt us, once again, I'm skeptical, right? I'd like to see this as being a great thing, but I am skeptical that they have a good handle on how to do these things when they don't seem to have a very good handle at all on how to obtain and capture the information. All right, my daily rant aside, if you have any questions or stories you'd like to share or ask, please reach out and give me a call. Thank you. Have a good day.